Hi, my friend, it's Pat Sloan here. We have day 2 of my fabric tour for Birdsong. We have the Secret Lives of Color number, what are we on? 47. And the Boo Crew. Super fun, super fun. And Boo Crew, I got like a little bit crazy with my fabrics, so you're gonna see how I thought through that process. First, we're gonna do the fabric tour, the Birdsong Love Fest, the fabric tour with my friends. So today is, first up, Jacqueline Steves, and many of you have visited Jacqueline. Jacqueline and I have been friends for an enormous long time, a very, very long time. And she is a fellow applique lover, and she is an artist, so her applique is quite gorgeous. She does much like a folk art style, very similar to mine, but much much better, I think. So Jacqueline is awesome. She also runs a club, so I want you to know about that, because a lot of you love club environments where you go in and you get, you pay maybe a monthly fee or 6 months or something, and then you get patterns and newsletters and things like that. So Jacqueline runs those, plus she does kits for a lot of her things. So you are going to want to go over to see her today, where you could, I think there's actually a second prize going on at her website today. And then our second stop on the tour is Carolina Osmussen, and you saw her work for my book tour, so I invited her to also be on the fabric tour. And Carolina did something so gorgeous. It's like, you know, between her and Hillary, so now you know what it might be, I need to pull out a pattern for clothing. Yes, I do. So Carolina is also a long arm quilter and machine quilter, quilting the 3 layers. So she does a lot of videos on that on her Instagram, so, and it might be on her Facebook too, but you can go watch her tips and tricks. And she does tools. She has tools for your free motion quilting. So you will have fun visiting both of my wonderful friends today. Mwah! They are amazing. And if you miss seeing Hillary at the Aurifil website and Beth over at Eva Page Quilt Designs, be sure you catch up on those two as well, because they're so cool. Alrighty, let's do Secret Lives of Color. Okay, I've got 3 rows now. 3, count them. Isn't that amazing? I am so excited. It's even better than I thought it would be in my head, if that's possible. Like, I know some of you may feel the same about yours. It's like, it's hard to visualize something like this coming together, but when you have 3 whole rows of it, you definitely see what it's going to look like. So we are on 47, which is still in the blue section of the book, and we are on Prussian Blue. Now, I've always been fascinated by that name, Prussian Blue, and I thought it was maybe more, I don't know what I thought about it, but it's another color that came about accidentally. This deep shade of blue came about accidentally. There was a lot of sort of underhanded things that went on with selling it and getting it out into the market. And, it was difficult. It was a difficult dye. A lot of these, what we're learning, are like that, which I find super fascinating. Like, I had no idea dyes were like that. So I decided to use my hedgehog fabric that I've had for a while. Look how cute he is. So, I've got the medium-sized block for my quilt. So got his little face in there. Whoops, he's upside down. There he goes. Got his little face in there. Now the layout, if you're doing row 4 of mine, then you want to flip the page and work on that, because it's a whole different format for row 4, and I am loving it. Loving it. Okay, on to the Boo Crew. This is a busy week. Well, it's a fun week. It's super fun. Even though each day there's going to be multiple things this week, that's okay. This makes it much more fun. Boo Crew is week number 2, and we did the broom in the hat. You can see there, yeah, the broom in the hat. And this week we have, ta-da! We have the ghost and the candle. Oh, so nice. Look at this. Look at this. He is so stinking cute. Look at him. Are these tails? I'm going to ask you that later when I'm talking. Yeah, I think they are. A ghost tail? Oh. Okay, let's go on the other side of the table and walk through fabric because it's interesting with this Spooky Darlings that I have, which has a lot of pattern to it. And I'm trying to use some of that pattern effectively. So let's go. Picking the fabric for Boo Crew week 2. I've got everything laid out. I'm using this very exuberant fabric that has a lot of action, a lot of pattern on it, and so that makes it fun and maybe sometimes a little bit challenging for those of you who aren't used to using this kind of fabric. So we're going to look through the options and how I think through what I'm going to put together. We have a ghost, and then he's balancing a candlestick on his tail. Do ghosts have tails? Is that what that is? Okay, so to remind you, last week we had the broom, get it back here, and the hat. So here we go. And I've got these colors now here. The backgrounds will all be this yellow. One of the other people on the tour is also using this fabric line, so that was so cool to see. She used totally different colors. She's not using the same background as me. I think she's using it purple. So that was kind of cool. Okay, what do we got? Of course, we had the background. And then the background is the yellow here. That means everything that's touching it needs to be able to pop off the surface. So I'll keep the ghost image there. So let's look at the easy part first, the ghost. Now I did get a few sort of basic dots. I'm trying not to use them. I would rather not add anything in just because that's a challenge for me. But of course the dots would make a fabulous ghost, would look totally terrific. The ghost eyes I've already decided on. The ghost eyes will be this gray, which was used on the broomstick, and I'm going to fussy cut the little X's in his eyeballs. Maybe his mouth too. Maybe a black one for the mouth and pink eyeballs. I don't know. So the white would work, that white dot, but in the line there is the skeletons, the pink skeleton heads. So that would be a cute ghost body because it's going to totally, the pattern isn't so intense. You'll be able to see it. You'll be able to see the eyes. Another one is there's actually a ghost fabric, and that's a light gray. So he would be a gray ghost, which is totally okay by me. I don't mind that. And actually, I think it's kind of fun because it's gray. Now, if you bought the kit, you have a spider web fabric for the ghost, which is quite intense. It has a lot of pattern on it. So the gray is good. And then we have the 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 haunted bunnies, yes. I don't want the haunted bunnies, so I know I do not want that, but that is one of the options. I wanted to look at all the options. So I either have these two for the ghost, or I pull in the dot, which I don't want to do. So I'm thinking one of these two, either one, the gray works. Okay, so now we have that. So I have a little smaller piece of the gold. So let's audition for the candle, which is a little trickier. I definitely am using the stripe. So I have the candlestick, has a stripe, but now the candlestick has a bottom and a top. Let's open it like this. Okay, so we're auditioning sort of as the shape is, so that so you really sort of get that idea. So there's a white part of the flame, and then an orange part of the flame, and then the tray. So first let's deal with the tray. I could go very basic. I could use one of these teals, which read nice and solid. This one reads nice and solid, underneath there. There's a bunch like that. There's actually there's a black ghost. There is a gray spider web, but I don't really want the spider web against the spider web right now. There's a bunch of stuff, but I wanted to try something more playful. We have this. There's some purple in the first blocks, so I'm thinking, could I bring some purple in? I could do the bottom of the tray with these dots that have some gremlin faces on it, so that would work like this. That would be an option. And then I also have the bubblegum wrapper, and I could fussy cut. It's like a 2-inch wide strip, I think. So I could go along and fussy cut somewhere. Now this comes in several shades, but I went with the darkest one. And I think I'm going to use this. I think that'll be fun. So we have, let me see if I can just sort of get it to sit there without unrolling. There we go. So we have that activity. Now at the top, there is the white part of the flame. And so I was thinking the yellow, this bright yellow, but I'm not sure that it actually pops off of there well enough. It blends a little bit too much into this yellow. So what I might have to do is go with the haunted bunnies up there, just to give me that white part. Move everything down a little bit. Okay, so give me the white part of the candlestick there, so you can see it. All right, so that would be here, and then at the top is an orange part of the candlestick. Now I have these four. Let me just move this over. Yeah, you can see it now. So I have 4 fabrics that have pumpkins. Pumpkins have orange on them. I won't use this gold one. Anything that seems to be the gold just is going to mush into this background too much, so we won't have that one. So I've got a purple pumpkins, and what I'm thinking is I can cut from the orange part mostly, just a fussy cut. So I'm mostly getting the orange, but it would get a few other colors. So I could get the orange with the purple, or get the orange with the black. Both of those would pop really nice. And then this one, the pumpkins are actually gray pumpkins. So I don't really have that same option, but it would still give me the feel. I could still get more orange in just a little bit, but I think I'll not do that one. And I will probably go with the purple, so I can bring a little bit more purple in again. So this is where I'm going with the candlestick. And now I can just cut everything up and get it sewn. Well, poop. I brought this up here and I lifted it to press and realized it is going to make like a pumpkin with 2 stems image, and this is not what I want. So I have started to unpick it. I will just pull it off, and then I will have to rotate it so that it will be the right direction, so that it doesn't make that image. So I needed to test. So there it is in a different spot, or I may even just cut a new one. I'm not loving, and no, don't want that stem. That's the whole thing. I don't want the stem. You know, I think I'm going to have to go and just cut a new one. Let's see if this last one looks okay. How will that go? It'll look kind of like that. I don't know. I think I'm going to cut a new one. And when I place it this way, this is how you audition. Then that will be on the bottom. Then I went ahead and got the other pumpkin piece I'd already cut. And when I put this one and flip it up, it will also have sort of the orange base up at the top. So I'm good with those. As much as I love this fabric and it is so fun, it is light and it's not giving an anchor to that candle. So I've remade a base and I'm going to put that in there. I can live with the pumpkin flame. It's quirky, but I'm okay with that. It's just here, this sort of disappears, that light purple, and you're not really even seeing, you're kind of losing the whole image. So we're going to give it an anchor. So you see that I changed it out. The candle had to have a little bit of work. Making decisions. This quilt is a small quilt. It does not have a lot of size to it. It doesn't have a lot of different images. If it did, I could probably get away with something like leaving this that was more mushy, you know, wasn't so distinct. But because it's a small quilt, I want all the parts to stand out really well. So I'm really happy that I changed it. Okay, there's also the cross stitch portion. So the cross stitch portion, we are putting a hat on it today, putting the witch's hat on. And I have been working on mine because I do get mine just a little bit before you, so that because I'm slow, so they're taking pity on me, the Fat Quarter Shop, and let me have it a little bit early. And remember, there's a super cute pull for your bag. And if you like the threads that we're using, you can order the threads too. So, and then there's also the little floss keepers that are, you know, the Halloween set. All of that is just so cute. I have to have it. I have to have all the cute stuff. Oh, goodness gracious. So I do want to show you the Sloan Zone things. I ordered, this is the next size t-shirt of the V-neck. Do you remember I had the V-neck on in a little bit darker blue? This is called the Heather, Royal Heather, this shade. But here is the next size up from the extra large. So this is the XXL, and it has a cute little vent on the side, and it is much looser here, which is nice. So it's much looser here. It's a little, for me, for my top part, it's a little big, but I'm okay with that. It's very, very comfortable. I also ordered the tan bag so that you could see what that looks like. And remember, when you do the logo, you can get pink down here if you want that instead of green. So I need to order something with the pink as well. So I think it might just be on the bags that we have that option. I can't remember now. There's a couple different places you have options. So these are the Sloan Zone items that are out there. So I know people are starting to get them. And if you ever have any trouble with your order, you just write to Kate and Pete, because they handle everything and they'll fix it right up. Now, somebody did ask me about the significance, or why did I pick this as the first thing that I'm doing on the merchandise. I was talking to Kate and just saying what I kind of wanted was something that represented the world and represented quilting. So needed some quilting stuff, needed something that felt expansive, felt like it includes everybody. So she came up with this hexagon shape, which is, of course, a quilting shape. It has stitching lines around a lot of the places, and she put mountains to show that, you know, every country has some mountains. So that's kind of, and then you have the down here could be the grass, you know. So it's not super literal like that, but it gives that vibe. And then we have, I love the ribbon with the sewing machine and the quilt blocks. And then on the back of the mug, she did this special design so that it also has the quilt blocks. Super cute, right? Super, super cute, the mug. All right, my friends, you are on to Boo, Boo, like Casper the Ghost. That is your Boo crew today. So, and if you're doing Secret Lives of Color, get that one done too. So I love you. Mwah. Thank you for being here in the Sloan Zone. I will see you online.